What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Will back with another video, and today we're gonna be getting into another interesting video topic. How are you guys feeling and doing today, man? As we going into this Tuesday, getting closer and closer to the first week of the NFL season. Very big stuff going on here, man, and very exciting stuff. We're finally done with the Guardians. And tired of watching them disappoint us. And now we're on to getting our Browns back. So it's a lot of good things going out here in Cleveland. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button as we look to get to 400 subscribers. If you're tuning in and watching this video, I appreciate you today. And man, let's get into it. So this is going to be a record prediction. Now, I've dropped record predictions. I think last year I had us at 11-5 or 11-6. And I think we went 11-6. Did we not? Am I crazy? So I think I got the record prediction actually right last year. Now, the games that I went through and predicted last season was incorrect. It's some games that was flip-flopped that I thought we would win, that we lost. Like, I know, like, we lost the Rams game. I thought we would beat them. So, but I did predict us to go correct last year. I'll try to throw it up somewhere here in the video. But long story short, getting into the video, man, we're going to do this record prediction. So we're going to see if I can get it right 2 times in a row. And now, I am a little biased, so don't be too mad at me. But I do know my Browns. So let's get into it. We got week 1, game 1, and that's going to be against the Dallas Cowboys. I do not know how to feel about this game. I really don't. I don't. Looking forward to it, man. I don't know, y'all. It's gonna be a tough game, man. It's gonna be a tough game, but I'm gonna take the Cleveland Browns to win. I picked them to win before. I'm gonna stay with my bet. I'm not gonna let the preseason stuff scare me. I'm gonna take the Browns to win. I think we come out and beat the Cowboys, and I'll go and give my reasonings when we go into this week. Next week I'll drop them all, my pregame videos, but I think we'll win. Week 2, I think the main reason the Browns beat the Cowboys, though, is just that defense at home. This is a tough team to beat on, at home. They play like the best defense in the world. Week 2 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going to take the Browns to win. I think the defense is just too strong, and they'll overpower that Jacksonville Jaguars offense. Week 3, the Browns go and play the Giants. I'm going to take the Browns to beat the Giants again. I'm going to take this defense over the Giants offense. Not really a lot of juggernauts here offensively the Browns got to go into besides the Cowboys. And they get that one at home. I'm going to take them to beat the Raiders. So I got the Browns starting off at 4-0 going into the Commanders game, where I'm going to also pick them to win. I got the Browns starting off at 5-0. I think they have a relatively light schedule going into this season. Now, obviously, they might lose a game and win a game that I picked them to lose later down the road. That's usually how it happens. But right now, I got them at 5-0. Going against the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm going to take them to lose that game. That's going to be their first loss of the season. And then the next game, they go and play the Bengals at Cincinnati. I'm going to also pick them to lose. So I'm going to have them at 5-2. And then they go ahead and they play the Baltimore Ravens. Now, it looks like that's at Cleveland Browns Stadium. So I'm going to pick them to beat the Baltimore Ravens. Now I have them at 6-3. Then they'll go ahead and they'll play the Chargers. I'm going to take them to beat the Chargers 7-3. They'll play the Saints. In New Orleans. I'm gonna take them to beat the Saints. So what, 8-3? They play the Steelers in Cleveland. No, at Pittsburgh. I'm gonna take them to lose that game. So I have them at 8-4. They play Denver in Mile High. That's gonna be on Monday Night Football. Take them to go 9-4 there, and then I'll take them to lose to Pittsburgh when they play Pittsburgh. Well, actually, to beat Pittsburgh here. Pretty much we're going to split with Pittsburgh. Then we got the Kansas City game. So we put at 9-5 now. Got the Kansas City game. I'm going to pick us to lose the Kansas City game. Go ahead and beat the Bengals. Wait, is that the... No. beat the Bengals, beat the Dolphins, and finish out against the Baltimore Ravens and then lose out. So I think the Browns gonna go about, I said lose out like they was gonna lose all the last games, but I think they're gonna go about, it's 17 game season. I can see 11-6, 10-7 for this schedule. I can see 11-6, 10-7. I think that's gonna be the range. I think it's gonna come down to these key games against teams that they should beat. Honestly, I don't know why I picked them to lose against the Saints. I'm gonna keep that back, but I think they'll end up probably splitting with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they'll split with the Ravens, and I think they'll split with the Bengals. I think they go 3-3 in the division. As far as against the NFC, I think they'll lose a game against the NFC. So the group of the Commanders, the Eagles, and the Giants, I think they'll lose a game against them. So that's 4 losses there. They'll beat the Chargers. And then who else do we play throughout this season? Then it comes down to the games of the Broncos, the Saints, the Dolphins. Do any of those 3 teams beat you? If you lose to 2 of those teams or to one of those teams, that's 5 losses right then and there. And then you got toss-ups against Kansas City. That's what the record in the season is going to come down to. But looking at it, honestly, thinking about how talented this football team is and thinking about how they are at and the games that they played last season, if this team's able to stay healthy throughout, I think this is a 12-5 team, man. Coming back around and looking to it, like, you got a lot of these games at home. You should be able to beat the Chiefs at home. You should be able to beat the Dolphins at home. You should be able to sweep Pittsburgh. If you're a Super Bowl caliber Browns team, you should be able to overpower and sweep Pittsburgh. Your defense is strong enough to overpower their offense, and your offense can score points. You should be able to sweep Pittsburgh. You're a better team than them. You should have toss-ups against the Bengals and the Ravens. But you should be able to sweep Pittsburgh. You should be able to beat the Dolphins. You should be able to beat the Saints. You should be able to, and then you got the Dolphins at home in December. So I think it's going to come down to that. I think they'll be in between 10 and 12 wins. I'm going to pick them to go 12-5 this year just because I do think there's going to be a better football team. Going through the season and looking at it, it was some games that I originally thought they would lose. But going back into it, man, you got to think of where this team was at last year and what they overcame. I don't see them having those same mishaps that they had last season. They overcame it against the Colts. Like, if they was like, I could see them having a mishap against the Saints and coming back and winning. Having a mishap against the Steelers and coming back and winning. Same thing for the Giants or any fluky team. They honestly can beat the Eagles. So, I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, I think this team will go 12-5. If I had to go back through it and just pick out all the games, if I had to pick our 5 losses here, I would say the Eagles game, 3 games, and no, I'm gonna pick us to sweep the Steelers. The Eagles game, Baltimore, the Bengals, the Chiefs, and I'm gonna pick another random game up out of here. We'll just throw that Saints game in there. So that's 5 losses. I think they'll lose 3 losses in the division, and then I think they'll lose 2 games outside of the division. 2 to 3 games outside of the division max. Looking at this schedule, they should beat these teams. And then they got a lot of these games at home. And then in the games that they don't have home, they're playing weaker opponents. You have the Raiders in a home game in Las Vegas that has 80% of the crowd yours. That's a home game. They have the Giants at home. The Commanders. That's the team you should beat if you're expecting to be competing for a Super Bowl. So I'm going to hold this team up to its standard. So we're going to see. So I'm going to update now with my – it's going to be on this side. But I'm going to update now with my board and I'm gonna put the record. So my record prediction is 12-5. Y'all gotta hold me to it. At the first of the start of this video, I was leaning towards 12 and I was leaning towards 10-7, but now I got us at about 12-5. I think this team will overcome the issues that they had and overcame last year. And I think that Deshaun Watson, Kevin Stefanski, and this defense is gonna be too much for a lot of teams to handle. And we're gonna go into the season, and a lot of people are going to look very foolish about what they predicted for this team, saying that they'll go 8-9, and all the evidence was there that this was a good football team and a good franchise. So I think the Browns will prove that, and I think they'll call it a fluke, and we're going to see how far this team can go. It's going to go as far as Stefanski and Deshaun Watson is going to take them. So you guys strap in. Like I said, 12-5. I'm going to hold this team to a high standard. That's going to be my prediction, and we out. Peace.